Do you want to build your dream life and you're just not sure why you can't seem to get ahead and make progress and break out of the rat race? Today, I'm going to show you exactly that. Hi, I'm Tracy from Money Boss, and I am here to help you step into your personal power, make more money, and build the life of your dreams. If you're down for that, like this video, subscribe, and follow along because literally, I am here to help you do all of that and create a money revolution. The way majority of this world is making money is so yesterday. Let's dive in. So today we're going to talk about the elements of life. Sound interesting? Well, it sure is. If you look at the way the system is set up, the system is designed to keep you in the system. Whether you want to call that society, the matrix, the rat race, there is a system designed to keep you going and keep you in that system where you're making just enough to get by, but you're stuck in the system and you don't get the power to get out. And before we dive in, I'm going to do the apologetics that some people need. I assume if you're here, you want to make more money, because if you didn't, you'd be watching Netflix or any other video on YouTube. But if you're here watching a channel called Money Boss, that shows that you want to make money. And the thing is, that is a worthy endeavor. One of the best missions that you can put to your life. You know why? Money affects everything. It isn't everything in life, but you need money for everything. So if you want to make more money, number one, please don't be ashamed of it. The world also has a strong narrative that makes you think if you want more money, you're greedy, selfish, No. Money is a beautiful thing when used correctly. So let's talk about these elements. As I mentioned, the school system is designed to make you part of the system. It was launched in the 1930s, I believe, as the industrial age came about. What happened is all these factories were being built. They needed workers in the factories. And then all of a sudden they had no place for the kids. So let's create the school system. And what was the goal of the school system? To create more factory workers. So they wanted obedient, diligent employees. That is the system of the school system, the goal of the school system. And if you didn't realize that, it took me a little while too, because I thought by going through the school system and then going to university and getting a good job and just being so energetic and so keen and helping my employers, I thought I was going to somehow get rich. Then I realized that these school systems, including university, college, is just designed to make you an employee. And within that system, each type of job has its category. So if you're an administrative assistant, supply and demand, there's a lot of people capable of filling that role. So it's the lowest paying. There's a lot of supply, right? So they can pay low. And then as you move up to, I'd say, different positions that are specialized, you start to make money. If you start to become a supervisor, you get paid more money because you help manage employees that make the company money. You become a manager. And as you go up, you make more money. As you go up, there's fewer and fewer people capable, skill set, temperament, etc., to fill those roles. So there is less supply and you're more in demand. You make more money. I didn't quite realize that. I somehow thought I was going to work a job and somehow break out of this system or within the system make really good money. Then I realized that's not the way the system works. Call it the matrix, call it society. It's carefully calculated because it has to be. To be honest, companies can only afford so much money in wages. Hey, it's me. Real quick, if you're enjoying this episode, like it and subscribe so you don't miss a future video. I am here to create a money revolution. And that involves helping people, helping you step into your personal power, make more money, and build your dream life. It is possible. It is possible for you. Join me on this money revolution. Subscribe now. And the margins at the bottom, after they take their income, pay the expenses, and get their profit, tends to be on the smaller side. 10 to 15% is generally what it is, with some software companies and big tech having bigger margins, right? Of course, if you can scale your company without a lot of employees, you make more money. So there is the thing. But today, what I want to talk about are the elements of life and success that they haven't really told us are what create our reality. So when you participate in society with a job, you are paid money for your time. And no matter how good you get and go up the ranks, and no matter how much you work, you're always going to be maxed out just for the sheer number of hours that you have. So let's say you are so keen, you're talented, you rise to the top, you become a CEO. That's also capped, right? So here's the thing. If you want to make extraordinary money, you need to step out of society's employee system and start making money through a side hustle and a business. That's how it works. You're disconnecting your time from a wage. You see what I mean? So the way I look at life is society sets you up for the employee track. They don't really tell us that. And maybe somewhere, if we're keen, we start researching, we're like, heck, I'm maxed out here. This is not what I want to do. I got to show up here every day. I hate my boss. I'm going to figure out how to launch a business. But there's two tracks in life. We're set up for the employee system. And those individuals that want to take control of their income, their time, their freedom, and live on their own terms, start heading down the self-employed track. Now, I want to pause here. There are individuals in this world just by way of how they're born and their mission. I truly believe this. I think we're all put on this earth with a gift, inclinations, challenges that we got to overcome to start stepping into our gift. But some of us were just wired from a young age to be a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, et cetera, et cetera. Some people just know. And I think that is them recognizing their calling very young. Some others, like me, I'm like, I like business. I want to have my own business. And it was very broad. Like I didn't ever really have that item that I wanted to be as I was growing up. But people that are teachers, that's a calling for the most part. You are going to be within this system just because that's your calling and that's the system that's set up. And we need these individuals. Not everybody is wired to want a lot of money. If you actually go on my website, I have the Sacred Money Archetype Personality test, which is a side note. But in there, there's 8 different money personalities. And a lot of those don't even care about money. The connector, the nurturer, the alchemist, a lot of them don't even care about money or have a mixed relationship with it. Some of them are just here to care for people. The nurturers, if they do life right and follow their inclinations and their natural gift and that longing on the inside, they're going to end up being moms, dads, daycare workers, nurses, doctors. So they're going to go this way. And because you're participating in this system, one note for you, if you are watching, you need to be extra diligent with your income and expenses because you're working within the system. It's very tight. And if you fall into the debt trap, the consumerism trap, you're going to spin out of control and be in massive debt. Same for this individual. but you're inclined, if you have that like calling on the inside where you're like, I want to own a business, I want to be self-employed. Like, don't ignore that. That is your soul speaking to you. It's not an accident because think of it this way. Look at your siblings. Chances are, if you have several siblings, you're all different. Look around. Some people love being accountants, singers. If we didn't have a unique soul calling, wouldn't we all be cookie cutter individuals with the same interests? Isn't it clever? There are people that are musically inclined that are here to bring the gift of music and singing to the world. Isn't it clever that there's people that are just wired to teach and nurture? They become the caregivers and the moms. Isn't it clever that there's people that are wired to want to make money? Why? Because that's your soul saying, go that way, become self-employed. That's what you're here for. You follow that calling. If you're training for accounting and it's killing your soul and you really want to be self-employed, maybe you build a business in accounting if you like it. But we aren't taught to listen. And this is something I've really realized because I've always wanted to be a business owner. I've always wanted to make a lot of money. It's not greedy, it's just my inclination. Why? Funny thing, within the last couple of years, I'm finally admitting the money boss is part of my destiny. I'm here to help people step into their power, make more money, and take charge of their financial destiny. I'm owning it. Finally, I'm 42 and I've heard the callings and felt it, but I didn't understand it. And then I did this and then I built my media companies and it's amazing and I love it, but still my body and mind was saying, we're not there yet. There's a money channel, a money platform. You're here to teach people about money mindset. I finally listened. It didn't quite make sense. I had these media companies that are successful. I built for 17 years. Why? No, just be quiet. Be quiet. Like money mindset. Sure, I'll just think about that and read about it nonstop. But no, I'm here to bring the gift of money mindset to individuals that want to make more money and step into their personal power and take charge of their financial destiny. So now that we chatted about that, and you're going, wait a minute. Okay, if I'm listening to this and this is what my mind's saying, this, I can't shut this off. I'm always thinking about making money. Give yourself permission to explore it. I'm not saying quit your job. That would be silly. You have a lot of spare time. I don't care if you have kids, you have extra time. Allow yourself the permission to go, wait a minute, maybe there's something here. Maybe these whispers that I get to start a business, maybe that's what I'm supposed to be walking towards. Permission granted to pursue and start walking towards those things that are calling you. Okay. Now, let's talk about the elements of life. If you are going to want to step out of this system that keeps you going, and we're going to talk about this, if you're going to want to step out, chances are you're going to be working a job in this system and building your company, your brand on the side. Okay. So let's understand how this system works so that you know how to start moving over here. Okay. So as an employee, we exchange our time for money. The more skilled and in demand we become, the more money we get. But no matter what, we always max out on our wage because we max out on your hours. So if you want to make a lot of money, you need to disconnect money coming to you from your time. So what does that mean? That means starting a business that you can scale and teach people in the influencer business, but mainly like the course and then the teaching of a skill that's highly in demand is the best way to disconnect your time from your money. And also to do something that the people in the world have not yet figured out how to do for themselves at scale. Those are the tricks to making a lot of money. So we've covered time. You exchange your time for money. And here's the thing. You go to work, you got to wake up early, you got to get ready, probably put kids in school or to daycare or whatever the case is. If you're a parent, it takes a lot of time before your workday. You commute, you go to work, then you commute home, then you take care of the kids, and then you're so darn tired. The elements of life, the elements of success are time and energy and focus. These are the three most important elements that build money. And here's the fifth one, love. When you are maxed out on your time and your energy and your focus, it harms your relationships. It really challenges them, right? If you're stressed out about money, what does that do for your relationship with your spouse? You're fighting all the time. When you are in survival, you are in survival. And it's very hard to be the best mom, daughter, wife, flip it to all your roles when you're stressed out about money and just trying to pay the bills. So here's how it works. The matrix, let's call it, society takes your time and your energy in exchange for money. It's called a job. And here's the other thing. You get home and you put the kids to bed, or if you're young and you don't have kids, or you just don't have kids, then you have spare time. But the world is also set up with two massive distractors that if you were to say, okay, I've got some time in the evening and I don't care if I don't have the energy, but I'm going to take an hour and do one thing every day to start building my side hustle. Society says, ha ha ha, nice try. We're going to distract you because we don't want you taking your extra time and figuring out how to do this, because we want to keep you in this system, running the race, because then you're not going to get powerful enough to break out and be in charge of your life. So they take your time and energy during the day for a wage. Hey, clever system. The apologetics. If we live in North America, Europe, first world country, we're pretty darn lucky. If we have a schooling system, we're pretty lucky. Yes, I get it. But the system takes your time and your energy for money. You take that money and you pay your bills. Now, here's the thing they're going to throw in. They're going to throw in consumerism. Oh my goodness. And social media and advertising. Because two of your most precious commodities are your energy and your focus. I'm going to share one of the most valuable quotes with you that I've ever heard. He who chases many rabbits catches none. She who chases many rabbits catches none. So let that sink in. You're occupied over here making money to pay your expenses, to live. Heck, it is hard. The American dream is slowly disappearing as expenses are going up and wages are not. People are falling further and further behind with each passing year. It's not working. And if you want to get out of this system, it is going to take a massive amount of energy and focus to pull yourself out. Why? Because you have social media. You have kids that have to go to sports. You have friends that want to hang out. You have sports leagues. You have sports that you pay. You got to hang out with friends and family. You have a holiday every month that starts to take your time and money and energy and makes you eat poorly, which messes up your energy and your focus also. So if you want to start building in parallel to your society job, it takes a massive amount of energy and focus. And the way I picture it, one of my mentors said that it is literally very challenging for the average person to break out of the system because they're going to make you tired. They're going to take your time. And then any little bit of time that you have that you could be spending building your side hustle, they're going to distract you with social media, shopping, sports, all of these things so that you cannot focus and you use your extra time being distracted. And when you are now in a cycle in your spare time of being a consumer and being distracted by life, which I mean, of course, we need to do. We need to do life and enjoy it, friends, family, fun. But the average person doesn't realize that if you want something different in life, then you need to do something differently. And it's a very odd business that you're going to be able to afford just from sheer down payments and costs that's going to allow you to leave the wage situation and go straight to be self-employed. The great thing is with the internet, it has leveled the playing field. There are more first generation millionaires and billionaires than there ever has been. What does that mean? Well, back in the day, money was passed on by the big individuals that built the railroad systems, the steel companies. Money was very generational, and there was like the wealthy and the elite. Now, the internet has leveled the playing field. And if you have a thought, an interest, a skill, you can quickly go online, create all your social media accounts for free, build a website for next to free, and start posting and start building a following because it takes a while. You also got to bump around and make some mistakes. Nobody knocks it out of the park and makes a big business and makes massive success right away. Most people that you see and you're like, wow, they're amazing. They've tried 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 things before what they're doing now. I have built media companies for 17 years. Before and during that, I was playing around, trying to figure things out. But I now know how to build a business, make money, market, advertise, build systems, employ people. All that 17 years, I have been building myself, my character, my skill set, my knowledge, been building the CEO of my life to be at this point. So now anything that I do after these 17 years have been built up to. This Money Boss platform, I have done all of this for my main media companies. I already know how. This isn't my first time out the gate making content, building platforms, doing all of this stuff. I've spent 17 years learning business and I've built successful media companies, but it's step by step. And here we are. We see these unicorn companies, the influencers that make a lot of money. By the way, a lot of them lie, just so you know. But we think it happens overnight. No, you're building your character from your like 20s, 30s into your 40s. You're really just building yourself, your knowledge, your skill set, your mindset, your body of work. And if you're 40 or 50 and you're going, oh my God, I'm maxed out, like, oh, I thought I was going to be successful in life. Hun, darling, sweetie pie, you're just getting started. You have just built the body of your work. You've invested in the business of you. You've built yourself as a CEO. It's a process. Nobody tells you this. We expect to go online, social media with no following, and then sell a course that we built to no followers. It's not logical. I've fallen into this trap. You post, nobody likes it. Well, Tracy, you have 50 viewers on Facebook, and most of them don't see your posts just by the algorithm. Let's be factual here. If you want to do stuff, you got to build big social media following and then build engagement. Get people to like you and your product and your way of thinking, and then you can start to monetize. This takes time, guys. What are you doing elsewise? You're going to your job. So why not? If you're super interested in graphic designing or money mindset or painting, you can start building an account, posting memes, doing little videos, start thought leadership, build your accounts, build your following while you're going to work. And then one day you can start monetizing this. Let's say you're a graphic designer by day. You can also go onto freelancer websites in your evening. Don't do it at work. That's not cool. But in your evening, put up accounts on freelancer websites and start a side hustle almost immediately, right? And then you build a following, let's call it graphic designer AI tips. And then you start posting pictures. And then you teach people through videos how to use AI to complement your graphic design skills. The sky is the limit with the internet. The limit? No, the sky is not the limit. Your mind is the limit. That's it. The more you learn, the more you study, the more skills you get, the more time that passes. If you're studying your craft and launching your side hustle, you just bump along. You're like, oh, okay, they really like that post. Let's do this. And then all of a sudden you start to develop a following that really like you and trust you. And then you offer a little course and then people buy. And then you start having a side hustle that's monetized. That's how it works. You don't start a business day one with no following and knock it out of the park. I would say maybe the odd person does, one post that goes viral. But the thing is, that's one post. Chances are it's a fluke. They don't do that for the next one. And then they're like, what's going on? And they don't know how to do it. So there is no free cake, free lunch, whatever the expression is. If you are an individual that wants to make money, you need to get in charge of your elements of life, elements of success. So that means you need to say, I want this. I want extra money. I want to be in charge of my future destiny, my time. One day I'm going to build there, but I want to be over here as $1 million business owner. You need to decide that you want that more than your excuses. Because until you want that more than your excuses, you're going to be satisfied over here and just make excuses. That is the hardest lesson I learned. So you really, and the analogy, and I can't remember if I shared it already, I get so busy chatting. If you want to start to pull yourself out of the system, the sheer energy that it takes to progress in business and get out of a full-time role eventually, for the most part, is like doing a pull-up. I see like the rat race society, the matrix here, and you're going to your job, you're doing your thing. If you want to start getting out of that, and not that self-employed's better, but I see the sheer amount of energy it takes is like doing a pull-up to try and pull yourself up. It's that amount of energy. So you need to be willing to take your time, your spare time, and say, yeah, I don't need to watch the game again tonight. Okay, Mom, I'm not going to visit tonight because I was over there 2 nights ago. Thursday nights are when I work on my side hustle. You don't need to tell them that. You're just booked on Thursday night. Just like you're booked during the day to go to your job, why don't you treat your side hustle just as importantly? Because if you don't book it, somebody's going to book your time and use it for you. So you need to take that time. And here's the thing, you won't have the energy and it'll never feel good. There'll never be a great time. So you just need to say, I want that. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to take the energy that I have in the evenings, on Thursday nights, or the weekend. When you're fresh, maybe Saturday morning if you can, Sunday. Some undistracted time to work on your side hustle. And you take the energy and the time and you focus it on moving your side hustle ahead. So let's say you want to have a social media platform. You might not even know what that business is going to be. Start posting about what you know and what you're passionate about at the moment, and it's going to progress. Maybe you start social media accounts, not under your name, business pages, and you go AI graphic design tips, and you start using CapCut and all these different AI tools to make flashy videos and graphics and just start posting. And then you're going to bump along, realize what people like, you're going to learn, you're going to build. And then eventually, one day, if you don't quit and you learn how to monetize, you're going to be the $1 million business owner. Or heck, why do we say $1 million? What if you can make $20,000 extra a year to just complement your role because you like your workplace? What if you want some side hustle cash? 20,000 would go a long way. What if, forget the million, and I even do that. I'm always focused on certain income targets. Heck, what if you just make enough money to replace your wage? And if you're a woman, maybe that's because you want to stay home and raise your babies and not cart them off to daycare, work all day long, pick your baby up and put it to bed. What if you could build a side hustle that just replaces your job for 50, 60,000 a year? Is that not good enough? We look at all these big $1 million business owners and influencers and go, oh my God, I need all that. Chances are most of us don't need that. Majority, honestly, don't have the desire to reach that. And most don't need that to have a good life. What is that number? It's not huge. What if that is just replacing your job and making money on your own and owning your time and being able to stay home with your baby if you're female or man, whatever the case is, stay home with your children all day and then work on your side hustle when they're sleeping or in the evening when your husband or wife comes home, if you have one. Isn't that enough? We don't need to think to the stars. Let's be practical. Most of us, our wage doesn't cover our cost of living. What if our side hustle can just start to pay off our credit card debt? Wouldn't that be a big burden off our shoulders? I think that'd be pretty amazing. A stat that I read many years ago in David Chilton's book, The Latte Factor, said most people, I think 97% of the population, can't find $400 cash in the event of emergency. And I don't mean taking that off a credit card. I don't even mean borrowing that from somebody. You just don't have $400. That was probably 10 years ago, 15 years ago. What percentage? Maybe it's still that percentage can't find money. So what if your side hustle just helps you get by so you're not burdened by an increasing growing debt? I think that's a pretty worthy endeavor. So let's talk about those elements of success, elements of life, elements of getting ahead, whatever we want to call them. Time, energy, money, focus, and love. I would call those the 5 currencies of life. If you can take charge of your time and your energy and create money, keep your focus, those are going to lead to more love in your life and your relationships. I don't usually touch on love because this is the Money Boss channel, but at the end of the day, we don't make money just to make money. We make money to make our life easier, to have options, to put our kids in university, to not be in debt, to not be fighting with our spouse over money. Because who wants that? It's stressful. If there's not enough and you're both maxed out and the bills are due, you're going to fight about it. And what happens between your spouse and you when there's not enough money and you continue to fight? Well, it really puts a damper on a wet blanket on love, doesn't it? I know how many people I know at the end of the day have been divorced or just about divorced because of money issues. They're not even going to name it. And you might be sitting there going, I fight with my husband all the time. And yeah, it's about money. And I didn't quite realize that how much money affects us. We just think that everyday bickering is just normal relationship behavior. I don't bicker with my spouse every month. He makes money, I make money. We're independent bosses of our own businesses and we're in charge. We, thankfully, at this point, have more than enough money to pay our bills and get by. The burden of financial stress is not on our relationship. So, do we have more love? I never talk about this stuff, but here we go. Do we have more love in our relationship and less strain and more chance of making it because we're not fighting about money? Heck yes. You would not believe the strain that money puts on relationship. Well, you probably do now that we're sitting here talking about this. I remember when we were younger and not making it by, we fought about money. Who's going to pay that bill? We don't have enough money. You pay it. Why are you spending so much? Constant fights. So I want to share that because I'm going to dive into the reality creation framework. And I never quite get there because there's so much groundwork that needs to be shared. And these are little things, but they're not. They're like the most important things that we're not taught purposefully. And we don't tend to realize because we're so busy trying to make it by. Really, at the end of the day, you need time. You need your energy. You need your focus to sit down and go, what do I want with my life? But they don't do that because we're so busy over here. They keep us busy so we don't think. They keep us wanting that next Gucci purse because then we're going to get that instant hit that we get from spending money on something we want. It lasts about a week and then the purse is the purse and then we want the next thing. They keep us trapped over here. They max out our 5 most important elements of life so that we stay trapped here being an employee and not getting ahead. I hope that helped. Guys, I have been thinking about this, learning about this, going through this for 20 plus years. And I wish I sure had this video years ago to realize this. And of course, you can't always go, okay, well, I can't get out of my job. No, that's not the point. As we discussed, you're going to go, wait a minute. I'm never going to have time. I'm never going to have money. I'm never going to have the energy. And it's never going to feel right because there's going to be doubt, fear, uncertainty because it's something you've never done. You just need to go, okay, that's a reality. But every Thursday evening or every Sunday morning, I sit down and work on my side hustle for 3 hours. And each session, don't work on a million things, accomplish one thing and do it and done. Then you move on to the next thing. And then that's how you build. If on your Sunday morning session, you're scattered because you have 5 things to work on that you've been thinking about all week, you're not focused. You're going to try and catch many rabbits on Sunday, and then you catch none because you dabbled here and there and there. And then all of a sudden it's noon and then you got to feed the kids and then your session's done until next Sunday. You didn't focus, you didn't achieve, and you didn't move forward. Focus on one step at a time to work towards your dream. That's how it's achieved. One session, one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, and then consistent movement, consistent energy, consistent focus towards your dreams. Focused action will get you towards your dreams. Most of us cannot get out of this system, but if you want something bad enough, I think this video is going to be an eye-opener for you. Time, energy, focus, money, love, the 5 currencies of life that if you start to take charge of and be aware of, if you can get control of these, that's how you start to build your dream life. I hope this helped. This has been percolating in my mind to share with you guys for a long time. And truly, at the end of the day, if you want to be a money boss, this is how you be a money boss. Somebody that's in charge of their income, in control of their spending, somebody that's taking charge of their financial destiny. I hope this helped you guys. I have loved sharing this. Again, if this has helped, like, share, get it out there. And if you don't want to miss another episode, besides subscribing to the podcast or the video, wherever you are consuming this or social media leads you here, subscribe to the podcast video. And again, if you really don't want to miss an episode and you are like determined to be in charge of your own destiny, head on over to the moneybosscollective.co and join our free community. I send one email a week with the most important things you need to know for that week. So you can do this. I believe in you, believe in yourself, and you will be a money boss. See you next week. Bye-bye.